Hey there, history buffs. Let's talk Canada, a land often associated with politeness, moose, and an endless supply of maple syrup. But before the Europeans showed up, Canada was already home to a vibrant tapestry of indigenous cultures. We're talking thousands of years of history here, folks. From the Inuit in the Arctic to the Haida on the Pacific coast, and the Mi'kmaq in the east, indigenous peoples thrived across the land we now call Canada. Each nation had its own unique traditions, languages, and ways of life, all deeply connected to the land. They hunted, gathered, and governed themselves long before any European ships decided to drop by. These early Canadians were masters of adaptation, surviving and thriving in some of the harshest environments on the planet. They built intricate social structures, developed sophisticated hunting techniques, and created stunning works of art. Think intricate beadwork, powerful masks, and towering totem poles that tell stories for generations. So, yeah, Canada's history lesson starts way before 1492. Fast forward a few centuries and things get a bit more crowded. Enter the Europeans, stage left with their ships, dreams of gold, and a bit of a knack for, shall we say, complicating things. The Vikings were actually the first Europeans to reach Canada, setting up a short-lived camp in Newfoundland around 1000 AD. But it wasn't exactly a smooth transition to permanent residency. Then came the big names, John Cabot, Jacques Cartier, and the like, searching for a western passage to Asia. Spoiler alert, they didn't find it. But they did find a whole lot of codfish off the coast of Newfoundland, which, let's be honest, is a pretty solid consolation prize if you're European in the 1500s. The French and British, never ones to miss a party, especially one with potential riches, quickly established colonies, kicking off centuries of rivalry. The French, with their fur trading and charming accents, settled in present-day Quebec and the Great Lakes region. The British, meanwhile, set up shop along the Atlantic coast and Hudson's Bay, always up for a bit of maritime mercantilism. Let's just say sharing wasn't exactly their strong suit. Fast forward to the 1860s and the colonies of British North America were facing some serious growing pains. Between economic woes, political squabbles, and the looming threat of their rather large neighbor to the south, the one with the whole manifest destiny thing going on, they realized that maybe, just maybe, uniting wasn't such a bad idea. And so, in 1867, Canada was born. Well, sort of. It wasn't quite the Canada we know and love today. It was more like a we agree to disagree, but let's try this whole country thing out kind of deal. They called it Confederation, which sounds way more official than roommate agreement, but essentially amounted to the same thing. The provinces of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and the United Province of Canada, which would later become Ontario and Quebec, joined forces, creating a brand spanking new nation. It was a bit messy, sure, with some provinces dragging their feet and others clamoring for more autonomy. But hey, what's a new country without a little bit of family drama? Section 4. World Wars and Growing Pains. Canada finds its footing. The next few decades saw Canada stepping out onto the world stage, though not always entirely of its own volition. When World War I broke out, Canada, still very much tied to Britain's apron strings, found itself thrust into the global conflict. Canadian soldiers fought bravely and tragically in battles like Vimy Ridge and Passchendaele, earning a reputation for their tenacity and courage. World War II saw Canada once again standing up against tyranny, playing a pivotal role in the liberation of Europe. From the beaches of Normandy to the skies over Britain, Canadians fought with distinction, making significant contributions to the Allied victory. These wars, while devastating, also helped forge a stronger sense of national identity and independence for Canada. In the post-war era, Canada underwent a period of rapid social and economic change. It established itself as a middle power on the world stage, championing multilateralism and peacekeeping. It also grappled with its own internal challenges like the Quiet Revolution in Quebec and the ongoing struggle for Indigenous rights. Through it all, Canada continued to grow and evolve, becoming the diverse and dynamic nation it is today. Section 5. Modern-day moose and maple syrup, a nation of niceness, mostly. So, where are we now? Well, Canada has definitely lived up to its reputation for politeness. Sorry, not sorry. It's a multicultural mosaic, home to people from all corners of the globe. It's got stunning natural beauty, from the rugged Rocky Mountains to the windswept Atlantic coast. And yes, it's got plenty of moose and maple syrup to go around. Canada's got its share of challenges, of course. Climate change is a pressing issue, as are the ongoing efforts towards reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. But through it all, Canadians have maintained their reputation for pragmatism, their quirky sense of humor, and their unwavering belief in hockey as a national religion. Canada might be a relatively young country, but it's got a rich and fascinating history. From ancient Indigenous cultures to European colonization, from Confederation to its modern-day identity, Canada's story is one of resilience, adaptation, and a healthy dose of A. It's a story that's still being written, and it's one that continues to captivate and inspire. Section 6. From Coast to Coast to Coast. A tapestry of cultures and landscapes. One of the most striking things about Canada is its sheer size. It's the second largest country in the world, spanning 6 time zones from the Atlantic to the Pacific to the Arctic Ocean, and within that vast expanse you'll find an incredible diversity of landscapes and cultures. Out east you've got the rugged coastlines of the Atlantic provinces, where fishing villages dot the shores and the sound of fiddle music fills the air. In Quebec, French language and culture reign supreme, from the cobblestone streets of Old Montreal to the charming bistros of Quebec City. Head west, and you'll hit the bustling metropolises of Toronto and Vancouver, vibrant, multicultural hubs with thriving arts and culinary scenes. Further inland, you'll encounter the vast prairies, a sea of golden wheat fields stretching as far as the eye can see. And then, there are the majestic, Rocky Mountains, a breathtaking playground for skiers, hikers, and anyone who appreciates awe-inspiring natural beauty. Section 7. Oh, Canada! Looking ahead at the Great White North. As Canada looks to the future, it faces both challenges and opportunities. The country continues to grapple with issues of climate change, reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, and economic inequality, but it also remains a beacon of hope and opportunity for many, with its commitment to diversity, social justice, and of course its universal healthcare. With its innovative spirit, its stunning natural beauty, and its reputation for niceness, hey, we're not complaining. Canada is well positioned to navigate the complexities of the 21st century. So here's to you, Canada. May your maple syrup always be flowing, your winters be somewhat mild, and your hockey players always bring home the gold. And that, my friends, is the epic history of Canada in a nutshell. Or should we say, a maple syrup barrel. It's a story of resilience, transformation, and a whole lot of heart. So next time you see a Canadian, give them a friendly, eh? And maybe offer them a Timbit or two. They'll appreciate it, eh?